Welcome to Messy Bun Sisters Podcast. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Lorena.
No, you're not.
And this is episode 11. Woohoo. Alyssa.
Yes.
Elisa, as our family says. What? Your glasses are fogging up.
I was laughing and crying.
It was funny what we were talking about. Maybe we'll talk about it later. Maybe we won't. What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about the process of buying a home.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because we are both currently homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting because I pulled up some stats.
And we'll talk about it after the sponsor.
I was just going to say the national average is 32 years old. And neither of us are there yet. So that's interesting.
How old were you when you bought the house?
24?
Yeah, I think I was also 24.
25.
Just turned 25.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So.
Wait, I'm 27. Yeah, I was like 24, turned 25 too. Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that today and just like the process of what we've gone through. And actually, Trent and I are about to sell our house. And I think eventually, like, you're going to sell your house too. So
yeah.
It's going to be a really interesting podcast.
We're both in the same kind of transition
but
phase.
But it happened different for both of us. Like
right.
The way that it worked. So this week, again, we're sponsored by Winsome Made.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
And we just actually gave one of Winsome Made. Man, I wish I would have brought it with me. We could have like hung it in the back of our YouTube. I know, I'm so dumb. But we just gave away one of their. We had a big giveaway for one of the flags that Winsome Made has made. And for those of you that don't know, Winsome Made is a local artisan here in San Antonio, Texas, specializing in like really beautiful flags.
Yeah.
They're all like hand painted with whatever you would want on them.
Yeah.
So, and if you want like a Bible verse or if you want like a really cool quote that's like something that means something to you.
She has that cute one that we posted that just says San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah. And she has a lot of those like hometown ones that are
that
so
was really cute. Yeah.
Yeah. So, she's a sponsor of this podcast, and we're very grateful. Thank you, Winsome Made.
Thank you.
And our winner for the podcast was none other than Kim Kardashian herself.
That's what she dressed up for Halloween, and it was perfect.
Andrea, what's her middle name?
Julia.
And that's a name she made for herself.
Yeah.
Andrea Julia Luster.
Yay!
Oh man, that was good. So
that was a fun giveaway. I'm glad
it was. We're gonna do other giveaways too eventually. Like we'll do. I just launched my Wild Daisy Crafts.
Woohoo!
I know, which I do like crochet stuff. Honestly, like most of the crochet stuff that I try to do that I sell are for adults, but I can do stuff for kids.
Yeah, you've done Liam's like baby
he's my
hats,
nephew.
and I know, but you have done them,
right?
So, and they're great.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I do like crochet and knitting, and then I also do like body scrubs, lip scrubs, lotion bars, chapsticks, lip balms. Yeah. So eventually we'll be giving those away too, on like our giveaways and stuff.
Cool.
And then what are you going to give away?
I don't know yet. Maybe a free something. Something to do with hair. I don't know. A haircut? A service? I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. We can follow me on at Wild Daisy Crafts.
You can follow me at Alyssa Mariah Hair. That's ALYSSAMARIAHHAIR.
So yeah, follow us on all the other stuff we do, which is a lot, but it's wonderful.
Yeah, you do all the things. I do some things.
I do a lot of fun things. It's great. It keeps me busy, and there are things that I love, and it's a creative outlet, and I'm happy about it. So Alyssa.
And this is another creative outlet, kind of.
I just like to sit and talk to you, so it's not like, it's just like a regular day.
Same.
So what do we have this time?
We have
Review of the week.
You guys, we do reviews of the week every week now, and it's been really fun. But if y'all would like to be featured on our review of the week, please leave us a review.
On iTunes, you can
Instagram, YouTube,
yeah,
all the things. So this one is from Instagram, and it's from our sponsor. It's not from our sponsor.
Wow.
It's from our giveaway.
Yeah.
That we did. And Miss Ronnie Morales says, I love supporting friends and their projects/ventures. Praise hands.
And she's so cute. I love
We love Ronnie.
I know. Yeah. So who wants to be a part of our review of the week? Comment
review of the week.
We also have a Patreon account. If you guys want to sponsor us every single week, the minimum is $2. And this will just give us the ability to do more giveaways and to actually give out stuff that you guys want to do. Maybe do more like...
Yeah, I'll do giveaways when we get Patreons.
Oh, incentive. Cool. Yep. All right, let's get into
services
it.
Are a lot. My service. Never mind.
Yeah,
okay.
Alyssa's services are like a lot of money. And I told her I'm going to Supercuts from now on.
No, you're not. That's
Maybe
rude.
Well,
okay, so let's get into it. So I charge a lot for my services so that I could buy a home.
Good segue.
No, I'm just kidding. But seriously. So yeah, like I said, the national average for first-time home buyers is 32 years old. Here's some other statistics.
Which is crazy.
The household income for buying a home is usually $75,000. The median purchase price is $190,000.
Is that in Texas or is that nationwide?
I think it's nationwide.
Yeah.
They usually do 5% down payments. 41% carry student debt.
Me.
Yeah, me too. And the typical balance is about $29,000.
Wait. Back up. I'm surprised that only 41% have student debt. Well,
a lot of people
don't go to college, I guess.
Yeah, or they pay out of pocket, or David paid out of pocket.
For what?
For
college?
2 years. Yeah.
I guess Caroline does that too.
2-year degree, yeah.
That's crazy.
Just don't have
Good for him.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's like just me having debt. So
yeah.
Student debt. We have other debt, but anyways. And the last thing is most bought a single family home in a suburban area. Me.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. So you bought your house first.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
No, I bought my house in 2012. So, oh my gosh.
That's a long, you've had it for a long time.
I know. And it was November of 2012. Aww. And we're in November now. It's November 1st. Aww. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've had it for, is that 6 years?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we've had it for 6 years. And what's really cool is like the way that we came about it, because we were about to get married. So we got married in 2013. And, ooh, scandal. We didn't live together.
Okay, I was like, wait. I know the story behind it, but go ahead.
So Trent was living at someone's house. Like he had an apartment and I was living with my parents. Actually, before we got engaged, I was going to move in with Lauren Higgy.
That's right.
I know. We were like looking for apartments and everything. And like in May, no, it was probably in June. And then July, I got engaged. And I was like, hey, I got engaged.
Yeah. But did she know?
I don't think so.
Oh,
because we were looking for apartments together.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way that she would have known. But
or that was like a way to throw you off.
No.
But I don't think she knew, actually.
Lauren, did you know? Comment below. So anyway, we were looking for apartments and whatever. And then we got engaged and we got engaged in July, August, September, October, November. So 4 months later, we were like, well, should we buy a house or should we get an apartment? Like, what should we do? And the way that it all worked out is a lady, I used to be in a choir, and the lady in front of me just turned around randomly and was like, hey, if you ever need a realtor, here's my card. It's like, okay, cool. So we were praying and fasting really, like what we should do about a house or a car. House or a car.
I know what you meant. I'm like, yeah.
Apartment. And I mean, we went to her office one time, told her what we needed, told her what we were looking for, told her our budget, how much we made, all that stuff. And then the next day, like maybe it was like the next weekend, she took us like to the tour of the homes or whatever. It was like a Saturday. It was all day. And the very last day, or the very last house of the day, was the house that we have right now. But we pulled in.
You just went for one day?
We went for one day. I know.
Wow.
I'm telling you, like praying and fasting. So, well, back up just a little bit. Before then, we were looking at, our friends had built a home, and it was the Centex builder. And she was like, y'all should look into it. This is before Darlene had given us her card. I know I'm like all over the place, but we were looking at it. We went to like the, what's it?
Model home.
We went to the model home. There was one that I really liked. I thought we could afford. We just walked around, did our thing. Anyway, so back to Darlene. So we, the very last house she took us to.
Darlene is
the realtor. So we pulled into the house, and I was like, hey, this is the model home we were looking at that one day. And we were looking around, and I was like, hey, yeah, I really like this. This is really cool. Like all the upgrades I wanted, which were his and her sinks, a tub, a garden tub. Oh, I'm obsessed with the garden tubs. And she was like, yeah, I guess the person like couldn't close on this, blah, blah, blah. She had all these upgrades. I'm like, cool. And I was looking outside the master bedroom, which was upstairs. And I was like, I took to Trent. I was like, hey, is that Grayson's truck across the street? And Trent was like, I don't know. Grayson is our friend from church. Actually, I don't know if they worked together at the time. But anyway, Grayson and Amy were a couple that we knew for years and years and years. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think so. She just texted me her address. Let me look. Lo and behold, Amy and Grayson were our neighbors. And we were like, we have to.
It's a sign.
It is. Yeah. And then another one of our friends across that were living 5 houses down, Brian and Sarah. And we came home, and my dad was like, there's nothing like having good neighbors.
Yeah.
Like knowing who your neighbors are, you know?
Huge.
So I think like the next day we were like, let's do it. And that's how we did it.
Wow.
That's how we chose the home.
Yeah.
There's a lot more than into the process of it.
Yeah, because
what about you guys? Like, how did you find this house, I guess?
David. we had a realtor, and I mean she helped us with this house too. But it was the same thing. We were like about to get married. We had gotten engaged in October, and we were about to get married, and or we'd gotten engaged and we decided that we wanted to buy a home.
Yeah.
And so we were like, we were going to just buy a home before, and then because I was in an apartment, like maybe David would move in, and then until my apartment lease was over, because my apartment lease was over like the month after we got married. Or 2 months after.
Because you lived with us in our house for a month too.
Yeah, because we ended up building.
Oh.
That's why I say David found this house, because our realtor found great homes for us that were already done and everything, and that was in our price range. But then David was like, I think I found like a neighborhood that I really like. And if we end up doing a build, we can put the things that we want in the house. And because David's really picky about stuff like that. And so I was like, okay. Like, I was literally like, whatever. Like, because then we found a lot that we liked. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is so great. And it fell through because the lot premium was so expensive.
Where was the lot?
Actually, Jeremiah and Karen's.
No way.
Yeah. Our friends live down the street from us, too. And so then that one fell through. And then the seller of the lots, I don't even know what they're called.
The builder?
Is it?
The builder.
Anyways, they showed us this one, and I was like, oh yeah, that's so great. Like, it backs up to a green belt. We have nobody behind us. And then kind of from there, like, David just kind of went off and picked all the things that he wanted. And I was like, yeah, I love him.
You didn't have any say?
Of course I had a say, but I'm like
I like this mic. I can just put it.
I'm just like very like laid back on decision making, I guess.
You're
like,
indecisive.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not like I'm indecisive, and then if somebody makes a decision, I'm not upset about it.
Yeah. Like,
I'd rather somebody make a decision and maybe like, okay, than me have to make the decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was beautiful. And I showed him like things that I liked.
Yeah.
Both of us are very much like we have the same style too. So
Trent
it's easy.
and I do not.
Yeah. But it's easy. So it's easy for us because I can be like, this is the style I like. These are things that I like. And then him be very specific on the things, especially because David's family is in construction and he's like dealt with things like that before and kind of knows, I mean, he knows a lot more than I do. So I just I was like, I trust you like with whatever.
What was really special about this house too is, before Alyssa got into the house, the families, like both Alyssa's family and David's family, literally went around the house and wrote scripture verses
on all the studs
everywhere, on all the studs.
Yeah.
Like just every single room in this house is like covered in like scripture verses. I know, it's so cool. And I remember where Papo put love conquers all.
Yeah, with a little heart and
I
a little
know.
arrow. And then
It
he
was
put
good.
always bet on 9.
What's 9?
I don't know.
Okay, did he really?
For the dogs. For the dog my grandpa
Loves the dog race.
he does. He gambles on the dog races.
That's so funny. Yeah, so this house is just like, it's beautiful
And
too.
we also this is funny.
Mm-hmm.
We also buried a Bible in the foundation.
Mira.
But it was your Bible.
What Bible?
It was like the Bible that you got, I think, from graduating from ORU. I was like, oh, this is a great Bible. I took a picture of it and before I put it in the foundation.
And it's going to be here forever.
And Mom was like, I think that's Lauren's Bible. I was like, oops.
Oh my God.
You have like a million other Bibles.
Uh-huh.
So,
but his word is hidden in my heart. So
yeah. So the word can be in the foundation. So our house is built on a Bible and it has like scripture verses and just like very encouraging words all over the house. And now we're going to sell it. I'm going to cry.
Yeah. We didn't get that experience. So,
well, yeah, but
our house could be covered in who knows what.
Do you know what? This is crazy.
What?
Shut up. So we have, that happened. All of us came into the Bible verses and stuff. The next day, we came to the house to check on it.
Yeah.
And somebody was working on like the fireplace and drew like a pentagram and like something about Satan.
And we were like, not today, Satan.
Yeah. So we crossed it off and I think we wrote something on there too. And the person ended up like apologizing to us.
No.
Yeah.
Way. What do you mean? What did they say?
I don't remember. I think to David, like maybe David was there when he was working and he apologized to him, but David was here like every day when the house was being built.
Wait, I have to know the story.
That's the story.
But I mean, I have to know the details of the story. Like David was like, did you write this pentagram on my ceiling fan? On my fireplace? And he was like, no, sir.
It was actually a white guy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Dang it. God.
So you're racist.
Wow.
Oh, man. Whoops. Anyways.
Well, we can't edit anything. Nothing shall be edited.
Can we?
No.
So anyways, how did you, how did y'all decide to leave the house?
Well,
because you still currently own it. So walk us through that.
So we own the house, and we decided to move to the Pearl. Or we decided to have like a home at the Pearl or an apartment or whatever, just because we wanted to experience that lifestyle, I guess. And it was just really awesome. And it was really cool how
you wanted like a city, like more city life.
City life. Yeah. So, we ended up we ended up letting our friend live in the house, a couple friends living in it while we were doing our thing at the Pearl. And I mean, it was fine. Like we were like not really their landlords, but like if anything went wrong, like we would fix it.
Yeah.
You
were their landlords.
Kind of. Not
and they rented it from you, so you were their landlords.
But like not in like technical ways. You know what I mean? Like
because it was people that you knew.
Yeah, it was like our friends that needed a place to stay. And so we were like, oh, live in our house while we, live in our apartment.
Would you have rented the house out anyways? No. Oh, okay.
I think we would have probably sold it at that point. So, but it just all worked out fine. Like they were looking for a place to stay, and we were like, well, we are thinking about like moving, so let's just do that, and that's what we did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you did that you lived down at the Pearl, and then y'all moved to New York.
Yeah. And so what was crazy is while we were in New York, Abe got a job in Colorado. Colton got accepted to med school in Galveston.
Yeah.
And it was just Sean by himself. So he was like doing his thing, and he was like, fine. He was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. And then he messaged us one day and was like, hey, like I got a job in somewhere like in the
West
Valley
Texas
or something where he would have to move, but he was going to he paid out the remainder of his lease, which is like a month. You know, so we like were freaking out because we were in New York City and we had to have somebody live in the house. I mean, it had to be somebody that we knew. You know what I mean? Like it had to be like a family member or a friend who needed a place to stay. Otherwise, we were going to sell it. So we reached out to the realtor we have now, and we're like, hey, like we're thinking about selling our house. Like, what do we do? And like kind of like just freaking out about it. So we were almost sold the house in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, in like December.
Wow.
Yeah. What?
You were going to say what? Something with the W, but you said yes. So you said wow. You sounded like Liam.
Hello. That's what he says. He's 5 months. He's saying hello. I just like how I'm just like having this sit right here. But yeah. So Alec and Lauren ended up renting the house, renting in quotes. Living in our house.
Yeah.
Until now we're like legit selling our house.
That's awesome.
Like they moved out, they got an apartment, and
you're going to put it on the market.
Like I think tomorrow.
So if you're looking for a house
in the JW Marriott area.
TPC, Bulverde.
Yeah. There's a house for sale. Yeah.
Okay. But are you sad? Like, are you sad about...
Honestly, okay, so there was this bookcase that we were gifted to, or gifted when we moved into the house, and it was the very first piece of furniture that was in there. And so we just, like, left it there. So, like, Abe and all them, they had it in there. Alec and Lauren had it in there. And then I was like, man, what are we going to do with this bookcase? Like, let's just sell it. I know. And then somebody jumped on it right away. And while they were like pulling it out of the house, I started to get emotional. I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. Like we're selling a house. Like it was our first home together. Yeah. You know, we spent a lot of years there, a lot of Christmases and just a lot of memory. Are you going to cry?
I'm crying because I'm thinking of my house.
Of course you're thinking about yourself. Selfish. I know. Just a lot.
Maybe we should put the microphone back up.
Okay, a lot of things. Lauren! A lot of really like fun, great things like happened in that house. And I just feel like it was yesterday that we were buying it and looking at it brand new, you know?
Yeah. What's funny though for me though now for like y'all's house is I don't feel like it's y'all's house anymore. Because so many other people have lived there, and more recently, So I think for me, I'm like detached from y'all being in the house, But I understand because like it's your first home, like that has to have all the memories,
just like the memories we had together, like finding it with Darlene and having Grayson and Amy being our neighbors and Brian and Sarah, and you know just Tad lived with us for a little bit. Yeah. You and David lived with us for a little bit.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So back to me. I'm just kidding.
Man, this is a selfish podcast.
No. You've been talking for like 50% of it.
You're asking me the questions.
True, but we're having a conversation. So now it's my turn to talk.
Go ahead.
No, the only thing I was going to say is that was really cool is that y'all let us stay there. You had enough space. That's what's nice about having a house. You had a 3-bedroom house. And so our house was supposed to be built like right when my lease was up for apartments, but you know, construction is like, it takes a long time. So, yeah, so the house wasn't done and my lease was up in the apartment. David and I had been married a month and we were like, can we stay with you guys?
Yeah.
So yeah, we lived with you guys for a month.
And it was like awesome, actually.
It was really great.
Yeah.
Like I actually loved living with you guys. The only thing was that in the room,
yeah.
it was a futon.
It was a twin size futon.
It was a twin size futon, and David and I were coming from living like we both had our own king size beds before.
Yeah.
So like for like the month that we were married, having to adjust to a king size bed in my apartment was hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then going from a king size bed, like adjusting to that to like a twin, we were like,
Do you have a king size bed now?
yeah.
Okay.
So then when we lived with you guys, we slept in separate beds
Yeah.
because we had a blow up mattress. So like I slept on the floor in the blow up mattress. And
Like an old married couple.
David slept on the futon. I mean, but it was great. I mean, we made it work and it was fun. And I loved living with you guys.
Yeah. We should do it again.
Let's do it again. What was I gonna ask you?
I don't know.
Anyways, then y'all lived with us for a hot second, not like maybe a week.
What?
Before you moved to New York.
We did?
Yes, you lived in this room
We did?
for like a week, maybe not a week, maybe like 3
A couple
days.
days.
But it was still, I was like, oh, we're back together again.
I like have no memory.
Fine.
You didn't even have Khaleesi at that point, your dog. That's so funny. Oh, we had Lucy.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Lucy was here with Nesto.
Okay, now I kind of remember a little bit.
Yeah, Nesto didn't like Lucy then.
Yeah.
So
I
those
remember.
are our dogs.
Yeah. Burp.
So why now are you selling the house?
Because we have no one to rent it.
But you don't want to live back there is the thing.
No, I don't want to live back there. I feel, and so when we were deciding to move back to San Antonio, I just felt, it was kind of a step back. So people were like, you should apply back at Rackspace, and you should move back in your old house or move back to the Mosaic where you lived before at the Pearl. And I was like, I just feel like that's a step back. I feel like the whole point of like moving to New York was, I mean, not the whole point, but I felt like moving back to where we were before was just not moving forward.
Right.
And as much as I loved living at the Mosaic, working at Rackspace, I just, I felt like in my head, I had closed that chapter in that book.
Close that chapter in your book.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just feel like I closed that chapter and I want to move forward,
Yeah.
Something different, something new. And like, whenever I just like joke with Trent about New York City and like moving back, like I don't know. I feel like as much as I'm obsessed with New York and love it and miss with like every fiber of my being there, I don't think I'd ever move back just because I feel like
it would be like another step back.
Yeah.
That chapter is closed.
Yeah. It's
too.
like, why would I move back? Like life is about moving forward and going forward and like not going back and like looking at, this period of my life was so fun. Like, let's try to recreate that. That's not
life.
That's not life. Life is like always moving and changing and going forward and growing. And that's just, I don't know. That's just not what I want to do. So now we're selling the house.
Yeah.
We're looking for another place to live, whether that's like an apartment or another home. I don't know. We're just kind of like in limbo right now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But also exciting.
It's super exciting. Yeah. No, I love.
And maybe we'll live together.
While you guys build another house.
Yeah. So that's our kind of going forward plan. We haven't really like mapped it up well. We're still kind of in limbo of what we want to do, but we know for sure that we want to probably sell the house and start a new chapter next year.
Isn't it crazy that we're both buying or thinking about buying our second home before we're 32?
Whoa, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Before the national average of like people first buying a home.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And we both probably make more than $75,000.
Yeah. Household
I don't want to
income.
tell anybody how much you make because we're not trying to get robbed.
Or like trying to beat.
Knock on wood.
Oh, I was like, someone's coming right now. No, so
I gotta, be a favor runner and go run that extra money.
That's how you make $75K.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you were to give advice to somebody who, say, is just newly married and looking for a home, what would you tell them?
Or just like looking to buy a home in general.
Yeah.
I would say do it. Honestly, like the equity that we have gained in our house now, meaning like the money that we have made on this house now, is extraordinary.
Yeah.
But the houses that you and I have both moved into, we live outside the city limits.
Right.
So we don't
Our
pay
taxes,
city taxes, because we don't live in San Antonio. We live in Bexar County, but we don't like live in San Antonio. So if you're willing to like take that risk and like pay taxes and understand that you have to pay, HOA, and you have to take care of your yard, and you have to do all these things to upkeep your house, and you're willing and ready to do that, yes, absolutely. If you are not willing to take care of your yard, if you're not willing to pay city taxes, if you want somebody to come in and, have, fix your stuff for you, I'd say stay in an apartment, stay in your apartment your entire life, Cause but you don't own anything. That's
yeah. But the thing is, I was listening to a podcast earlier actually about like being better managers of their money.
Yeah.
And he lives in New York City. So it's like,
oh yeah.
So, and he was like, I would never buy here. Like, it just doesn't make sense for my lifestyle because I would never like the maintenance that it cost. He was like, something happened where a pipe leaked and it was all over the floor.
In New York City?
Yeah.
But they pay maintenance fees.
What do you mean?
So if you're a part of a building and
you buy it,
and if you buy an apartment, you not only do you have to pay monthly rent, you have to pay maintenance fees.
I don't remember. He was like saying the reason that he doesn't, he like is a millionaire.
Okay.
And it was like, he wrote a book that was like how to be rich. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is like, look up for your area. Like in San Antonio, I think it's a great idea to buy rather than rent. Like that's just what I've researched and what I know, like for our income and our lifestyle is like, we want to own and we want to have our space and we want to have our privacy and we want to have our lawn and all this stuff. So,
and we don't care about that. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like for me,
yeah.
And for us in San Antonio, it's smart to buy. But
but like our lifestyle is like not that. We haven't had that lifestyle in a couple years, and I don't know. Y'all would always make fun of me when I owned the house and San Antonio was under water restrictions.
Oh my gosh.
And they would play volleyball every Monday. But the only day that I could water my grass was Monday night.
Yeah.
And they'd always make fun of me that I had to water my grass. But like I really did have to water my grass. We're under water restriction. I don't want it to die. That's what I'm saying is like if you're willing to like.
Or get a sprinkler system like us.
Okay, I'm not that rich. But like all I'm saying is if, these are the things, the sacrifices you have to do to be a homeowner / adult.
I love it. I love it so much.
I mean, I love being in an apartment too. You know what I mean? And I remember.
So do your research.
Yeah. Do your research for sure.
We're all on a journey. Alrighty guys, like, subscribe, share, take screenshots if you're watching on YouTube and share it on your Instagram stories at Messy Bun Sisters.
Yeah. And comment. And the Vargai band for life.
God.